So we're going to go live. We're live, so whenever you're ready, Zoning Administrator.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Susie Murray, and I am the zoning administrator for the city of Santa Rosa. And I think effective today, that's official. I'm the zoning administrator for the city of Santa Rosa, and I'm very happy to announce that. You can call me zoning administrator Murray, or you can call me Susie, and I really prefer Susie. I have some notes that I have to read before we really officially call this meeting to order. And I want to say that if members of the public, they can participate in the meeting by attending in person from the conference room or by logging on to Zoom, the Zoom webinar, by going to, hopefully they're already there, https://ors.zoom.us/j/828-747-27915, or by dialing the good old fashioned way at 877-853-5257 and entering webinar ID 828-7472-7915. Public comment will be accepted whether you're here live or if you're dialing or zooming in. The meeting is also live streamed at youtube.com/City of Santa Rosa. You can also log on to our Legistar system by going to, this is another long one, https://Santa Rosa I'm going to start that one over again. https://Santa-Rosa.legistar.com/calendar. Click on the in progress link to watch. We're also being televised at Comcast Channel 28. Okay, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Right at the beginning of the meeting, we do have an opportunity for public comment. Seeing only applicants and staff members in the room here, I will say if you would like to make a public comment, if you're joining us by Zoom, if you can raise your hand, and I'm going to hand it off to Kyle to let us know how to do that.
If you wish to make a public comment via Zoom, please raise your hand. The raise your hand icon is located at the bottom of the Zoom screen. If you wish to make a comment in person, please raise your hand in person. If you are dialing in via telephone, please dial *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute once called upon. It appears there's no hands raised at this time, Zoning Administrator.
Thank you very much. Now I'm going to read you my statement of purpose. The zoning administrator is appointed by the Planning and Economic Development Department Director and has the responsibility and authority to conduct public hearings and to take action on applications for administrative permits and approvals issued by the department, holding public hearings and public meetings. This includes entitlements or land use permits and reduced review authority permits. Today, we have none of those. A determination or a decision made by the zoning administrator may be appealed to the Design Review Board, Cultural Heritage Board, Planning Commission, or City Council, whichever board is applicable. And decisions made today must be appealed by, hold that thought, by Monday, March 13th. It's extended by a day because the 10th day falls on a weekend. So some next item, 3.2, is our zoning administrator reports. And I do have one. And I'm actually going to slip my hat as a zoning administrator off and my senior planner hat back on and say that there was an item that was noticed. I'm the planner. It's for Stonebridge attached housing. We received a request for public hearing and we will reschedule that meeting to a date uncertain at this point. We don't know the date. And it will be renoticed. That item will be heard before or by the design review board. And the meeting will be at 4:30 in the afternoon rather than 10:30 in the morning. And again, you will receive another notice if you are here for that item. You'll receive that. It will be a public hearing. Okay, and I want to take a moment. I don't know. No, let's go ahead and we'll go on. The next item is consent items, which we have none. And then we'll move on to our scheduled items. And the first one is a public meeting. It's for the property located at 512 Orchard Street here in Santa Rosa, and it's for a detached garage. The project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. This is a landmark alteration, and Jandon Briscoe is the project planner. Jandon, you're on.
All right. Can I share my screen, recording Secretary Kyle?
Yes.
Boom. Good morning, everyone. Zoning Administrator Murray and everyone else who's in attendance. I'm Project Planner Jandon Briscoe, and I'm here to present to you about 512 Orchard Street and a new detached garage. This 512 Orchard Street is located in the Cherry Preservation District, which is why this requires a minor landmark alteration permit. The applicant is proposing to demolish the existing garage due to deterioration, and they plan to rebuild a detached garage while installing a new concrete driveway to the new garage. Here on the slideshow is shown the existing garage that is to be demolished, and it's to the rear of the property. Here one can see that this is a rendering of the new garage that's being proposed. And on the right side of the slide is the color of the siding that they'll be using, and below that is the Hardy panel vertical siding that they'll be using. The color is not gonna really mimic the house, but it's gonna harmonize the house. And the siding, it has a different orientation. However, it's not the intent of the code to entirely mimic the primary dwelling. Here's an aerial view of the property. And again, this is in the Cherry District, and it's pretty typical in the Cherry Preservation District that there's a long property with detached garages and such towards the back of it. The general plan is low density residential, and the zoning designation is R-1-6-H. Single family residential and a historic combining district. Both of these designations are for single family dwellings. And here's the site plan. One can see that the existing garage is more so to the south of the property, and a new garage would move further north to the property to align with the new driveway that they would be building that's going along with this permit. And it's moved to the northern side of the property to help with the setback requirements, the 5-foot rear setback. And as zoning administrator alluded to earlier, this project has been reviewed in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act and qualifies for a Class 3 categorical exemption under Section 15303, in that the garage is an accessory structure to the existing residence. Thus, it is recommended by Planning and Economic Development Department that the zoning administrator, by resolution, approve a minor landmark alteration permit for the property located at 512 Orchard Street. Here's my information if you have any questions. And that's the end of my presentations for this project.
Thank you very much for a thorough presentation. And I think let's see if there are any public comments. You can go ahead and take your presentation now.
If you wish to make a public comment via Zoom, please raise your hand. The raise your hand icon is located at the bottom of the Zoom screen. If you are in person, please raise your hand in person. If you are dialing in via telephone, please dial *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute once called upon. So, Mr. Murray, it appears there's no hands raised at this time.
Great, thank you. So first, I want to say that I did do a site visit. You have a beautiful home. And I think it makes absolute sense. I can see that the new garage won't be readily visible from the public right away. I would like to compliment Jandon for doing an outstanding job on the findings. I can make every single one of them. I do have a couple of conditions that I would like to add. I am also the staff liaison to the Cultural Heritage Board, so I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to materials, older materials. And I think that older garage has some older materials on it. And I would ask that any existing materials that could be salvaged, if it's that old hardwood, even though it may be a little frayed at the ends, if you can get that to a salvage yard, there are other people who may want to use it if you're not going to use it, rather than just putting it into the scrap
Absolutely.
pile.
Yeah, that was already our intent.
Oh, good, good. Well, do you mind if I add a condition for that? Just so it kind of memorializes.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So, Jandon, if you can ask that any existing materials that can be salvaged, be salvaged. And then the other one is a very standard condition that I like to see, and that is that the plans submitted for building permits will match those that were approved today.
Absolutely.
And you'll see that on your approved resolution. And with that, I am going to approve this project. And I also want to make a public apology to the applicants for waiting. I was assigned to this project originally. It was before I was the zoning administrator, and I didn't realize I had it, and it sat for several months. So thank you. I'm grateful for your patience. That was my bad. So thank you and congratulations. Okay, moving on to item 2. This is another public meeting, and this is for a home occupation, an in-home psychotherapy private practice. This project is also exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, requires a conditional use permit, and the project site is located at 516 Buena Vista Drive. The file number is CUP 22022. And Jandon? Thank you both.
All right, this is the second item on the agenda today, and this is for a home occupation located at 516 Buena Vista. And this home occupation is an in-home psychotherapy practice. The applicant, a licensed therapist, is proposing to provide individual therapy to a few private practice clients per week. The applicant expects 1 to 3 clients per day, 5 p.m. through 8 p.m. on the weekdays, Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, she expects 1 to 3 clients per day, 1 p.m. through 4 p.m. Here, one can see that the zoning is R-1-6 and the general plan is low density residential. And both of these allow for single family residential dwellings. The project has been found in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act and qualifies for a Class 1 exemption under Section 15301, and that a home business presents negligible or no change in residential uses or environmental consequences. And here's the site plan for this. Clients are directed to park in the applicant's driveway, so they're not impeding on the regular traffic. And once they park in the driveway, they're instructed to walk through the back gate, around to the backyard, to the office in the back. And I did receive public comment from this, and I will read it verbatim. Mr. Briscoe, we are property owners of a home on El Dorado Court and have serious concerns of the proposed use for the home located at 516 Buena Vista Drive. It would stand to reason that if one business is allowed into our neighborhood, that others will follow. To our knowledge, the Lameda Heights area is strictly dedicated to single-family homes, and we feel very strongly that it should remain that way. We strongly oppose the idea of allowing any commercial endeavors using the homes in our neighborhood. Thank you for listening. And I also want to say that the client's appointments will be staggered in a way to avoid multiple clients at the residence at one time. And the patients going to the back helps keep the occupation discreet and maintaining the original neighborhood character. Thus, it is recommended by the Planning and Economic Development Department that the zoning administrator, by resolution, approve a minor conditional use permit for the property located at 5116 Buena Vista Drive. Here's my information if you have any questions.
Thank you. And I will ask too, are there any public comments, Kyle? You can take yours.
If you wish to make a public comment via Zoom, please raise your hand. The raise your hand icon is located at the bottom of the Zoom screen. If you're here in person, please raise your hand in person. If you are dialing in via telephone, please dial *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute once called upon. Zoning Administrator Murray, it appears there's no hands raised at this time.
Great, thank you very much. So I want to address the public comments that were received. I've been working here since, where'd I go? There, hi. I've been working here since 2006 as a planner. And we have had several home occupations throughout the city. There are some certain standards that are required for home occupations, including off-site parking. And I have to stop looking at the screen. I'm going to get seasick here. Anyways, I got sidetracked there. The public comment, the concern that keeping commercial uses out of a residential neighborhood, I want to try to put your mind at ease if you're listening. We do hear your comments and understand your concerns, but I don't think that there are any neighborhoods that are overrun by commercial uses because of home occupations. There are some very, in my opinion, strict standards with regard to parking. Even though it's a public street, clients will be required to park on the property in the driveway with a designated parking space. I have one question about the conditions, and I'm wondering if they say, if we've conditioned it that customers will be, or clients will be staggered. If not, I'd like to add that condition so that we can ensure that there won't be a traffic jam. But I understand your concerns, but I don't think they're warranted. And I think if you look at our home occupation history and you were to drive through those neighborhoods, your minds would be put at ease. I very much appreciate you submitting public comments, and I hope you continue to stay involved. I am going to approve this project as conditioned with the additional condition. And I will say that any decision made today by the zoning administrator is appealable within 10 calendar days. And you may, that expires on Monday, March 13th, because the 10th day falls on a Sunday. Yes, I am repeating myself from earlier. So I think that concludes today's meeting. Thank you very much. You did an outstanding job on our Blazing the Trails in-person zoning administrator meeting. And I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.